Hello everybody and welcome back to Take It, Hold It, Mod It for the final time this season. For the final episode we're not going to do anything crazy, we're going to go with classic loadout Lewis and Spawn Locked. Whether you're just joining me for the final episode or you watched one or two of them or you've watched all of them, thank you so much. Seriously, I really appreciate people watching the stuff I make and liking it and enjoying it. It really does mean a whole ton to me. And we are in.
Target system detected.
What do we got? What do you got for me today? Oh, the Scout? Really? On classic loadout Lewis this early? I guess it does class bolt actions as pretty low down in the weapon tier list. And I'm assuming that the secondary mag slot still doesn't work, of course. And I don't think it will for quite a long time. Well, it's nice to finally be on the final episode. It's nice to finally be kind of done with the series. Well, we're not done just yet. We still got to do one more run, of course. But, you know, the series has been a lot of effort to do. And I'm just going to be glad I'm going to get to relax for a little bit. As for, like, Season 2 stuff, don't worry. I did mark this as Season 1 for a reason. There is going to be a Season 2. I'm not sure when. I'm not promising anything. I'm not promising by the end of the year or if it's coming start of the next year or whatever. We'll kind of figure that out as it goes along. But for the most part, there is going to be, for sure, a second season. And remember, the 12 Days of Meatmas are coming back this year for, Meatmas, of course. So I'm going to be doing that again, which is going to take a lot of time. So, I don't know when second season is going to come. I'll just keep people updated. I'll keep people posted. I'll say like, oh, this is the map. This is like, if you want to keep updated, what you can do is you could join my Discord. I actually have a Discord dedicated to everyone who wants to watch and, you know, to speak with me, to give suggestions and stuff like that. Apparently I didn't rack it because I'm a dummy. Oh well. But yeah, if you're interested in keeping track with it or you know, getting to know more information about it as it comes out, you know what map I'm going with, if I'm installing any other mods or etc., you can join the Discord. Of course, you also get a lot of other stuff when you join the Discord as well. You know, you get notifications when I'm streaming because I still stream daily. You know, despite recording the series pretty much 7 days in a row, pretty much, I still stream daily. Maybe even twice a day. Like, sometimes I have streamed twice a day and recorded an episode of THM. Sorry, yeah. That is it abbreviated. I'm glad I remembered that. Man, the Scout has got such a nice pull to it. I didn't realize I had this nice of a pull. Oh, and of course, that's when I run out of ammo. Get in there. Come on. There we go. You know, oh god. I think I'm just going to go for the encryptions. And I'm actually going to aim down sights. I'm not going to point you. I might miss. Boop. Wait, what? There's still more? Where? Oh god. Out of my way! I got an encryption that needs shot. Damn. I performed really poorly there, by the looks of it. But oh well. But, you know, I've actually been making a lot of music lately. I've been getting really back into the groove of making music. I've made music since, like, 2010, but for the most part, I wouldn't really call myself, like, a musician. Or, like, someone who just makes music. It's kind of just like a hobby I have in the background that I just occasionally kind of dabble into. But saying that, I have made quite a few releases, so to speak. Nothing like professional or anything. Nothing actually released in stores or on any storefronts. Just music I put up on like a Bandcamp or whatever. No, we're not using that, but I'll take it to recycle it. No, we're not using that, but I'll take it. No, okay, we might reuse that one. Not like I have the points to deny it anyway. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of music I've made over time. Obviously, I think most of it's pretty good. I mean, there's obviously a lot of shitters, a lot of old stuff, a lot of stuff that doesn't really age too well, but for the most part, I still really like the music I made back then in like 2016, 2013-ish. I think a lot of it's still really good, in my opinion. And I usually just go around and listen to it every so often. So, you know, I'll be in the mood, I'll be like, all right, I want to see what, you know, what was I doing back then? Like, how did I feel? What was I thinking about? You know, music kind of reminds me of stuff I played at the time, maybe even videos I watched. There's a couple tracks in particular where I remember Let's Plays that I was watching at the time I was making the track, which is really weird correlations to have, but, you know, it's nice that I can still remember and make connections and stuff like that. Oh. I thought I was going to duke him, but he actually avoided the shot, or I missed, more accurately. Yeah, I've been making a few tracks recently. One of them I really like, and I'm kind of trying to flesh out, but it's really hard to flesh out music, I found. I'm the type who kind of just throws shit at the wall and hopes it sticks. From what I've told and from what I've seen, that's kind of a lot of music a lot of the time, is you kind of just throw shit around and hope it kind of meshes well. I'm the quantity over quality type of guy where, you know, I don't just sit there and kind of drone on about a single track. I don't think about it too much. I don't really go like, how do I progress this? How do I start this? What's the melody I want to use? I more or less just open the program, smash some shit together, and go, yeah, that sounds pretty good. That's my strategy. But as a result, I usually end up with like, or whenever I made an album or an EP or something and I was trying to get tracks together for one. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, whenever I was trying to make an EP or an album or something, I don't think I took a health so-sig. Big shame. You know, there's actually been a lot of sniper rifles in Take It, Hold It, Mod It recently. I didn't expect this many sniper rifles, especially in the intro clips. Come on, please. Oh. Oh. Whew. Yeah. Usually there is a problem when I'm making music the way I do, where I kind of prioritize quantity over quality, where by the time I've finished kind of settling with the tracks I want for my EP or whatever, I actually end up with like 30-something files which I've made in the past two months, you know? So I end up with so many like projects where I'm like, oh, this one was kind of nice, this one was kind of good, I kind of like this one, I wish I could finish it. Oh, that was nice. That was really nice. Let me use this instead. Where's the last one? Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm kind of stressing out because I'm really low HP, and I kind of want to keep this run. I like having the scout. It's quite nice. Yeah, I usually end up having like a bajillion different files by the end of a music project, and it's always so annoying when some of them I really do like. I really like them, but you know, I just don't have the mental capacity to flesh them out. I don't have the know-how. Oh, let's wait behind this wall for a little second. Oh, let's wait again. Do we actually aim this time though? Oh, I split the difference. You ever do that in a shooting game? Where there's two enemies in front of you, so you try and like shoot them both at the same time and you just end up hitting no one instead? Oh. It's a common plight. Common blight when it's playing shooter games. I would like an HP so-sig maybe, but let's see, give me... Oh, it didn't even really give me that. Literally didn't give me any ammo. It just gave me standard rounds. I was about to fall out the map there. Yeah, there were a couple projects I was working on with music where I was like, oh, I really like this track, but at the same time, I can't, like, figure out how to flesh it out. You know, it sounds really good, but at the same time, like, where do you go with it? Oh. Can't hide from me, dude.
Well done.
Yeah, we're making excessive use of the ducking trick right here, the cover. No, understandably so, because A, we're low HP, B, I'm using the Stayer Scout. Stayer? Stayer? Stayer. It's Stayer, right, isn't it? The Stayer Scout, and the Stayer Aug. Stayer. Stayer? Tell me which one it is in the comments. Correct me, because I'm stupid. Maybe I am saying it correctly, and I'm just overthinking it. Yeah, there have been a lot of tracks that I've wanted to complete, but just didn't have the motivation or the know-how to do so, which is so sad. One of them in particular, I ended up like being so frustrated that I didn't complete that I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna complete it. I was literally like, I don't care how long it takes. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna complete this track and I'm gonna make it a full actual fleshed out song. And I did. I did that, and I put it on like a compilation album of like every single thing I've made in the past 4 years, and I was pretty happy. I was happy with that. I was really satisfied because, you know, it was a track I was really sad about for the longest time that I didn't get to complete. There were a few others like that, but kind of rare. In fact, it's kind of funny. One track I was so not happy with that I made, I went back, like, you know, usually people remaster their best tracks. You know, you remaster the best games, you remaster the best music. But for me, I was like, I don't care. My older tracks are still pretty good. But there was this one track that I made, which I hated so fucking much, that I went back and I was like, you know what? I'm remastering this track. I'm going to go back to the drawing board and remaster that from the ground up. Mainly because it was kind of very screechy, if you know what I mean. It was very high pitch, very high frequency, and I didn't like it. And it just felt, it was harsh to listen to, in my opinion. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna make it so it sounds good. This is one of those instances where having a grenade would be excellent. Maybe I should start buying grenades more. I say that like once every... Oh, fuck. You know what? I'm just gonna go for the thing. Oh, I'm going this way. Excuse me. It's not the only one left? Where is it? Where is it? Is it here? Yeah, I get it. There's an encryption, but like you don't need to jam it in my ear. Oh, there it is. Okay, got it. This is a tough run, apparently. We're having a really hard time.
Advancing to next system lane.
I think I turned it on to safe. Shit. Oh my god, my health. That is not good, to say the least. Don't be shield so six. Oh, oh, shit. I'm gonna die here. Okay. I didn't even see that nade. Damn, I got dookied. Big shame. Well, we're gonna go back in and we're gonna go redo that, which is fine. It's a shame we lost the Stayer Scout because I really like having the Scout. So, big F, we lost the Scout. I mean, it wasn't doing too good. I wasn't doing that great with it anyway. I was doing okay. I was hitting some pretty damn good shots, but I wasn't hitting the shots that mattered, sadly. Doesn't matter how many shots you hit, if you don't hit the ones that end up not getting you not killed. Wow, we got a really dinky tiny revolver. Thanks, game. What caliber even is this? Is this 22? 38. Okay. Well, it looks like it's gonna take like 4 shots to kill a So-Sig, so that's nice. Yeah, what's it called? Anger? Not anger. Not even contempt. That's not even the right word. I'm trying to say like a word like anger is a really good motivation, in a sense. Or it's not even anger. It's frustration. Maybe frustration is a really good motivator a lot of the time. Because, like I said, when I went to go remaster that track, I was like, I just fucking hate this track. So I'm gonna make it so I don't hate this track anymore. And that was a really good motivator to get that done, because I actually did get it done in a pretty timely manner, because I was like, I just want to hear this track in a non shit way. I don't want it to be so bad anymore. And then I ended up being pretty happy with it in the end. I really want to buy something else, but I can't. I mean, I would also love to buy a health Sosig just to have with me. Did I miss one again? Did we spawn with a health Sosig down there? I'm pretty sure we do. So, I'm just missing one, I guess. Oh well, who needs him? Me, apparently, because I wouldn't have died the last round if I had one. Honestly, I'm not even sure how to aim this thing. This thing is so tiny. It's so dinky. I've never liked the revolvers that do the odd recoil in H3. Those revolvers tend to do this, they either do, wow, you're alive, hello? Your revolvers either do like the up-down recoil, or they do some weird like kind of janky side-to-side recoil. You can kind of see it kind of janks up and down. It doesn't rotate it like an actual understandable point to me. So firing them in succession just feels really weird, because it feels like I have to constantly reorient my grip. Yeah, this thing isn't good. At least not that good, anyway, from what I'm using it. I mean, any gun that takes, like, 2 shots to kill a Sosig and isn't full auto is instantly like, I don't know. You're in questionable territory, young man. Especially if I can't reload it fast. Well, I don't know what that guy was doing, but he was having a hard time. Sosigs seem to have a hard time on this map when traversing. Which is, you know, understandable. It's not exactly a official map. But especially on something like the ladders. They have a really hard time with the ladders. Stop it! I just want to shoot the encryptions, damn it! Wait, was that it? No. Ah, I missed the shot. Could have been perfect as well. All rounds used successfully. Hold successful. Give me a pistol or something. I want like a beefy pistol.
Advance to next system node and take it.
Come on, come on. I mean, I'll take a random crate actually. I do quite like random crates. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. Just a standard bog standard AK. Actually quite nice. We haven't had an AK yet this series, which is odd. And we got the dong. Yo, we donging though? Get that dong grip. Let's freaking go. Okay. Now this is epic. Frustration is also like a pretty damn good motivator in terms of like, funnily enough, fighting games. Who thought I was going to mention that? Boof. But for the longest time, I've said for the longest time a really absurd amount in this series for some reason. I've noticed. So, sorry. Might get a bit repetitive, but I kind of don't want to be on full auto, I think. Let's go to semi. We'll treat it as like a battle rifle for now. Until we get enough to upgrade. Oh!
Self-serve, baby.
Let me see, can I get any extra ammunition? White tips, let's freaking go. Oh. We're out. Again, you can actually bump out AK mags that way. It's a little bit finicky sometimes, but it does work. I gotta do the underhand reload where you go like that, because I can't actually do that. I am familiar with that reload. But, you know, whenever I've been frustrated with something, especially even IRL, not even just in video games, whenever I've been frustrated with something, like a video game example would be a move my opponent is doing, and it's hitting me every time, and I'm hating it, and I'm disliking it. In real life, it would be like, maybe my desk is not clean, maybe my laundry isn't done yet, or, you know, I haven't done my bed sheets yet, or something. You know, whenever I have a problem like that, something that kind of just nags on me, I always find the best solution is always just to get it done. You know, find a solution. I've kind of hardwired my brain to, once I have a problem, to immediately go to the where's the fix, where's the solution angle first. You know, I've been like, I don't like this. How do I fix it? You know, and I find that that's actually improved my life quite a lot in many regards. Just trying to drill that into my head that if I have a problem, I should look for a solution. And I feel it's a really good way of kind of doing things you wouldn't otherwise do, or thinking about stuff you wouldn't otherwise think about, kind of in a game adapting your playstyle in certain ways, or thinking out of the box, or in real life just kind of getting things done properly. You know, sometimes when I want to make a meal or something and I don't exactly know how to do it, or I don't know what to do, the next thing I'll do is just, you know, the next thing I'll do is just be, hey, I'll look it up online. I'll see how you do it. How do you do this pretty normal thing? How do you make lasagna properly? You know, something like that. It's a good thing to hardwire into your brain, because then, you know, you immediately start looking for solutions instead of dwelling on the fact that there's a problem. Kind of gets your brain thinking, gets your gray matter tingling.
Data extracted.
So it's just a really nice thing to have, and if you haven't tried that, if you haven't tried like going, hey, look for solutions as soon as possible, I encourage you to give it a try. Might work for you, might not work for some people, maybe it only works for me, you know? I know that different methods work for different people. Some people don't like one thing, other people don't like the other thing, etc.
Override token found.
I've kind of learned over time that, you know, everything kind of applies differently to other people. Of course, it makes sense, it's obvious now that you say it out loud, but, you know, one learning method doesn't work for another person, while another method does work for you. So, for example, my method of learning how to aim in H3, I don't know if I said it the last episode. I know I said it in the failed episode 6, so I don't know if I mentioned it in the last episode. Probably, but I'll just give the shorthand version just so. But, you know, when it comes to HDPR, the way I learned to aim was I just went into the indoor ranges and I shot a gun for 2 hours. Like I said, I'm pretty sure. But that might not work for someone else, for example. No, let me out. God, the shotgun Sosigs are so vicious. They want your booty tang. Oh. But yeah, that method of learning might not work for someone else. The same way it worked for me. You never know, maybe it'll take a little bit, or maybe it'll take something else for them to really learn how to aim properly. You know, maybe they require something like shooting a sniper rifle on an indoor range, or maybe just IRL practice with a real firearm or something. But I always try to offer my solution, the solutions that worked for me. That's kind of what I like to do. I like to give people information. I like to tell people about, you know, how something worked for me and like a solution I had, because you never know. Someone out there might have a similar problem and the solution might be very similar. Ah, fuck. There we go, we did the right-hand reload. I want a bigger mag because this looks kind of weird. Looks very odd with just this magazine like this. This tiny magazine with a big dongle which reaches out farther than the mag itself. God, I love the right-hand reloads. The first game that I saw that really kind of did the right-hand reload, where you kind of, you know, reach around and pull the bolt back, was I think Battlefield 4, mainly with its AKs and its like the AK-12. That was kind of that's the key reload that I remember when I think about someone charging the AK bolt with their, or without turning the gun around, you know, without doing this, or the Modern Warfare way where you do that. I say the Modern Warfare way as if Modern Warfare came up with it, but it didn't, you know, it just, you know. It's one of the most popular COD reloads at this point. But yeah, the reload, or the game that really kind of reminded me of that the most is definitely Battlefield 4's AK-12. Especially during a lot of promotional material, they would show it off and they would do the right-hand bolt pulling. And I thought, you know, that's really cool. That looks really cool. But, you know, honestly, nowadays, I don't think it really looks as cool anymore. It's definitely different, but you can't beat a good old tug, like a good old pull. You know, you can't beat a good old, you know? I don't know if you guys have seen the original Payday 1 AK reload. Not Payday 2, but Payday 1, the first Payday game. Payday the Heist, specifically. But, the original Payday 1 reload for the AK is actually comical. Like, it is clown-worthy. It is hilarious. Like, it is absurd in such a... Nope. Yeah, it is absurd in such a bizarre way. Uh-oh, I think I'm dead. Unless I just go sicko mode right here. Come on. Ooh! Damn, we're getting so close to death in these runs now, apparently. Am I just getting worse at this game? Feels like it. But, yeah, the original reload for the AK in Payday was actually comical. It was actually hilarious. What they did was it's really hard to even replicate in VR. Basically, they pulled the AK up like this, grabbed an AK mag, slided it out, put a new one in, like that, and then they threw the AK over to their other hand, and then did that. Like, what? Why? I mean, you should definitely go and watch it yourself. If you haven't seen it, I highly encourage to go and watch it because it is really funny. And, you know, just kind of odd. One of those weird relics of people who didn't really know how firearms worked. And, them kind of just throwing shit at the wall and being like, alright, this is how you reload the AK, I suppose. Honestly, Payday the Heist really doesn't hold up nowadays, the first game. It really, really kind of doesn't, in my opinion. I don't think it's that great. I mean, I'm sure it's still fun, in a sense, and it definitely will play very different from Payday 2, but I also kind of believe that Payday 1 in general wasn't that great. And still it really isn't. But Payday 2, I really did love Payday 2 back when it came out. It was actually one of the only games I would consider had an actual beta, per se. It's one of the key games in my mind that I remember when I think of the good days, where betas were actually betas and not just playable demos. Or God forbid, alphas. God. I hate how loosely the terms are used nowadays. Where beta and alpha and etc. just get interchangeably used and... Oh. But for example, the Battlefield 2042 alpha, quote unquote, I don't know why that was called an alpha. Because let me just put this straight. If your game is in alpha state still, if your game is still in an alpha state and you are 5 months away from release, I am worried about the product you are trying to sell to people. Because being in an alpha state means you're not even like 10% done. You're not even like 5% done. Like you have the core gameplay fundamentals there, but it's just not fleshed out and doesn't have expansive content. It's basically about as unfinished as it can be. Aside from just being like a tech demo or proof of concept. And of course people throwing around the tech demo, like the game players are almost just as bad at this as the game developers were. When Boneworks came out, everyone was like, oh, it's just a tech demo. You know, it's just a tech demo. And that was really, really kind of, oh god, it's a tactical mag. It's a waffle. Ew, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it has to be a waffle, my bad. I know it sucks, but... Ugh. I mean, some of you probably really love waffles. I actually kind of like waffles in some guns. Like, it's kind of funny how the what's it called? The Halo Infinite Battle Rifle has a waffle mag. It's weird. It looks really odd, but at least it functions pretty well. Get rid of that. I don't need this anymore. Yeah, if your game is still in alpha and you're only 5 months from release, I am scared for you. Oh, we've already been here. I am scared for your product because that is a scary idea to give people. And again, like beta and alpha just being thrown around constantly. It's not like a big deal. It's not a big problem, but it's just something that's kind of like little twitch, get a little bit of annoyance out of me when someone comes out of nowhere, or like the Call of Duty every year is like, oh, come and play the beta. It's like, oh, but we're not going to change anything. Nothing is going to change. This is not a beta, it's a demo. It's effectively a stress test to see the servers or something, which at this point I would assume that COD has down pat, because if you need to stress your servers after like 20 years of making COD games, that's also a tiny bit worrying. HDVR has this really weird difficulty curve, you know, where it's really hard at certain points, but it gets really easy after a certain point as well. Mainly once you get to the, hey, I have a minigun, or hey, I have an LMG level. Once you have something that can actually deliver constant fire and not be out of rounds within 5 seconds, the game kind of slows down and gets a lot easier. Things get a lot more manageable. Like this, you know, we went from kind of scraping through with just one arm and one leg to, hey, we're kind of sitting pretty now. We're kind of just sailing. Just going downstream. And it's actually really nice, actually. I kind of think that's one of HDVR's strengths, is that the difficulty curve is so drastically different. It 100% depends on the loadout you get and the items you get. Which, you know, in some instances is kind of bad. Like, for example, something like, in my opinion, The Binding of Isaac really kind of has its loot pool completely shoved full of useless items a lot of the time. So it gets a lot more difficult depending on, you know... Basically, what I'm trying to say is HDVR has a really wide and nice difficulty curve that really just depends on what you get. But at the same time, that difficulty curve can also be drastically lower, determined by player skill. You know, the most skilled players in H3 absolutely would stomp the lowest skilled players in H3. Like someone who just started the game versus someone like Putter My Pancake, or maybe even like Mr. King, Jordan Puma, and etc. Everyone who is really good at this game.
See y'all tomorrow.
So, And I do like that HD kind of really rewards skill, but it more rewards it in that you get more out of the experience, not that the game becomes easier. You know, you get more enjoyable things to do, you get more enjoyable actions you can make, you get better interactions, better, kind of use out of all the items.
Agile encryption detected.
I hate Agile. How does Putter do this? How does Putter manage to do Agiles in such like a short amount of time? I've heard that that Putter can do the Agile encryptions in like 1 second, and I'm like, bruh, how? How do you do this? How are you like a god gamer? And I honestly don't even have an answer. I'm like, how do you get to that point to where you can just kind of, I mean, I would say I'm pretty good at this game. I'm actually probably better than average than most people. Obviously, like that's kind of to be expected for having like 400 hours in the game. But you know, I would say I have a pretty good shot. But I just don't understand how someone can do the encryptions in such a speedy fashion. I even struggle to do normal encryptions in a relatively speedy fashion. And we're not going with the minigun. No, we're not going. No, don't be crazy. We're not going to do that. Yeah, it's just kind of insane, honestly. Just how Putter manages to do a lot of these, like any human feats. Definitely just one of the great. If you want like really good H3 gameplay, just push for the stuff they did. I'm not sure. I mean, most of what I'm saying is from hearsay, like from what I've heard people say Putter can do. Oh god, that is bad. Ugh. Let me out of here. I want to regroup. I was stuck between a rock and a hard place there. If I stopped to reload, I would have died. Yeah. What the heck is happening? Stop. What happened? My controller is like off kilter now. That is kind of annoying. Yeah, my controller is like weird. It's actually like here. Yeah, my controller is actually weird. Ugh. I felt really odd. Yeah, most of what I'm saying has come from what people said about the feats they've done. Mainly like Mr. King telling me like, oh, Putter can do all these encryptions in like half a second and with like 0 effort, and I'm like, how? That's insane. That is a crazy feat. Pineapple, let's go. Actually, this is a what grenade is this? Is this a sticky nade? Or is it just like a normal? It's just a pineapple. Oh, the lighting is probably fucked. That's how, maybe. Maybe? Who knows? Ew, this is so dirty and grimy. Ugh. Huh? Uh-oh. In fact, you know what? Bring it out. There we go. I love when those things do like the flying, where they get shot and they're just like, oh, and just launch in a completely unrelated direction. It's like the people who get hit by shotguns in action movies and they fly backwards, but imagine instead of them flying backwards, they suddenly like, fly to the side. It's kind of funny. Oh. Yeah. It actually requires quite a lot of skill. A lot of, I would say actually more HD requires a lot of knowledge in the sense that, you know, knowing how to work with most of the mechanics, knowing all the button configurations, and just kind of getting them into your muscle memory. God, I fucking love this game. This game is so damn good. It's something just super special about it, and just in the VR field. Most VR games, in my opinion, are pretty okay. Like, if you want some good examples of really great VR games that are not HD VR, because if you're here, you probably know that HD VR is a great game. But a good example would be something like Until You Fall. You know, Until You Fall, Gorn, Blade and Sorcery, Boneworks. There's another game that came out recently called Legendary Tales, I think it's called. Which looks pretty damn good. But yeah, there's a lot of VR games that nowadays that are really damn good, and I would still say HD VR just topples them by like a 3-mile radius, country mile. It is gigantic it's a gigantic plateau in difference. It's massive because HD VR obviously has been developed for over 4 years. Kind of not surprising, it doesn't really have much of a competition, but again, it's one of those games you kind of have to invest time into. I can understand the people who say that HD has no content. I can understand what they say and what they mean. I don't think they're correct. I don't think they're right, but I can at least understand the sentiment and where they're coming from, where it's like, oh, you just run around and you shoot things. Oh, you just go, there's just like a ton of guns, but there's nothing to do with them. Oh, you just, you know, and taking hold, oh, you just do wave defense. Oh, and Rot Winners, you just do, what's it called? Fetch quests. Like, I can understand the sentiment. I can understand it. I could understand a hell of a lot more maybe 2-3 years ago, where it was a little bit more true. A little bit. But honestly, nowadays, I think they're just completely wrong. Again, I understand where it comes from, but I think it's just not true anymore. HD has so much content, and if you're the type who doesn't mind having no progression, then HDVR just, at this point, just has infinite content. You could just play for as long as you want, and you'd still have stuff to do. You would still have guns to learn. You still have techniques to learn, etc. HDVR is just such a content-rich and like super depth game, depth in a sense, and I just love it. I just absolutely love it. No other game in this space really comes close to giving me the same feeling H3 does. Honestly, speaking about VR in general, VR for me has kind of mellowed down, I think. You know, obviously, back when commercial VR was at its height, hang on, let me check the recording. Yeah, okay, everything's fine. But obviously, when commercial VR was at its height, and like the HTC Vive just came out, the original Oculus Rift, VR was all fancy, all new. It was unbelievable. I remember one of the first times I went into the lab VR, as in the very first day I got my Index. No, sorry, my Vive. And there was a mode you can play in the lab where you were like, you get to see the solar system up close, you know, like they were massive, they were huge. And I remember one of the most distinct feelings I remember when playing VR is walking up to the sun in that, putting my head in and like feeling like I was burning alive. Like, I know that's a weird feeling. Like, that's a weird, it's like, oh, you felt like you were like dying? It's like, kind of. Like, I felt like I put my head into the sun and I could almost feel just the heat coming off of it and being like, I'm burning, I'm sweating. I came out of the headset being like, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm pouring in sweat. And it's like, but you didn't do anything. You just stuck your head in a sun. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, VR is that convincing. It is that immersive that even on like kind of not good resolution, even on kind of not good FOV, me sticking my head into a virtual sun was enough to get my body to just go, this is real. This is an actual thing that's happening. Like, my body was sweating. And it's one of the most distinct feelings that I remember when it comes to classic VR, among another one where I put on the headset for the very first time. Not even put it on. I stuck it on my head. I like pulled out I pulled up the strap and just had a look while it was setting up, and I was like, it's like, oh, that looks really weird. Because we don't know, VR headsets kind of look a bit odd from far away. If you actually look at the lenses when you're like, they're out here like this, it looks like there's nothing there. It looks like glitched almost, like foggy. It looks really odd. But when you get really close, suddenly like clarity booms out of nowhere. Like it just, and you just immediately get immersed. And like I put on the headset for the first time and looked around and I was like, holy shit, what the hell? I was absolutely blown away. I was like, this is insane. This is absolutely unbelievable. The fact that we have this technology, the fact that I can actually experience this in my home is absolutely unreal.
Override token found.
It was one of the most, like, incredible experiences I've ever had in my life, to be honest. Like, playing VR for the first time, getting into HD for the first time, being immersed, and, like, feeling like I was actually in the areas. And it's so unfortunate because eventually, obviously, that feeling dries down. You know, I don't actually feel that anymore when I'm playing VR. I still feel immersed. I feel like I'm in there. I'm experiencing these games, these worlds. I'm in this rich world. But the whole idea of like me interacting within an environment by moving around just doesn't feel, it feels natural now. It feels like just second nature. It feels like, oh yeah, VR is kind of cool. You know? It's like, oh, VR is kind of interesting. You know? It went from, man, VR, fucking mind blown. Oh my god, how does this happen? It went from that to yeah, VR is kind of cool. It's interesting. It looks nice. Plays fun. I like some of the games in it. And it is unfortunate that it did come to that, you know? Obviously, it would have at some point, it would have just become normalized. But I always miss that feeling. I'm always kind of hoping at some point in VR I get to experience that once again, every so often. Whew. Yeah, I really hope that one day I'll get to experience that again in some capacity. I really hope so. I experienced it a little bit when I bought the Index. See, when I originally bought the Index and I installed it for the first time, I plugged it in and I looked in, and everything being so much clearer, everything being so much wider in FOV, and everything being so just in your face and like the 1440 hertz and 1444 hertz. Why am I saying that? 144 hertz. Basically, everything improved about it. I was like, oh my god, wow. For a little, and also, I know it's something you probably wouldn't think about. Something you probably wouldn't consider to be that important. But the weight distribution of the headset, oh my god, it is so good. One of my biggest problems with the Vive, and you can actually see it yourself, is the original Vive headset was just a strap. It was literally just like a Velcro strap that you would yank over your head, which meant all the weight of the headset was at your front. You know, after coming out of VR with the Vive, I would always feel like I was dragging down, like my whole body or my whole face had been yanked down. I feel that just a tiny bit with the Index. I still feel it because, you know, I still have a massive honking set of screens in front of me. But I don't feel it anywhere near as much anymore, because the weight distribution is so nice, and getting to experience that, it makes the headset feel so much more not there, per se. You know, you get immersed in it even more. You know, you're like, oh wow, like I barely even feel it. And not feeling the headset is like another avenue into making VR feel so immersive, so much more immersive. And whenever someone talks about like, oh, the Vive Pro or just the Vive in general versus the Index in terms of like which one is better, and I'm like, I'm always going to say the Index because it has so many upsides over the Vive, not just resolution, not just frame rate, not just like quality, and even the Vive Pro, which had an OLED screen, I'm pretty sure, where you had like super dark levels. Even then, I'm like, I don't care. Dark levels do not matter when you just have this level of clarity. Yeah, I felt it a little bit when I installed the index for the first time. I did feel the familiar nostalgic feeling of being a kid again, being even like a teenager again when I first bought VR, you know? I felt it and I was like, oh, this feels new and fresh again. I want to try VR again. I want to do more things. I want to experience more experiences. I want to be there, you know? And I didn't feel it the same way, obviously. I don't think I ever will feel it the same way I did when I originally plugged in the Vive. But I'm hoping that one day down the line, when VR maybe gets so advanced that it's almost like full brain dive, life dive, whatever it's called, where you're actually, it's like 100% clear, lifelike. Oof, we died. But yeah, once it gets to a point where it feels lifelike, maybe then I'll experience that feeling again where I just kind of gushed over VR. And I still gush over VR. I think VR is absolutely incredible. If you're interested in it, I strongly encourage trying it. Even though I don't really like the Quest 2, I can't deny its ability to get people back, or to get people into VR who wouldn't normally have tried it before. You know, I'm not a big fan of the headset. In my personal opinion, I think it's kind of crap, but at the same time, it does let people experience and have those same feelings that I felt the first time that I played VR, you know? It's just something that I think everyone should be able to experience. No matter, like, again, and it doesn't matter if you have the best headset in the world or just the Quest. It's fine, because as long as you get to experience that for the first time, it's incredible. It's something you probably won't forget. You know, the quality doesn't matter. The fact that you're even there in the first place is what makes it so special. And, you know, I guess I'll transition over to thank you for watching. This series has been lovely. It's been a quite fun ride to do. I love playing VR and I love playing HD VR. It's such a joy to play and do more things. And getting to have new experiences in taking hold with these maps. And let me just talk about this map for a second. I think this map is excellent. I think it's a great map. I think it's really fun. I thought that it was going to be too small and I was going to get bored of it by the end of it, but I'm actually still I really like it still. I've had my fill for the most part. I think I'm not going to play it again for a while, but this is one of those maps I'll probably keep installed because it is great. I like the aesthetics. I like how everything works. I like the holds. I like the additions that aren't just, it's not just Dust 2. It's got a lot of additions to it. It feels really nice. It feels really clean. Very, like, proper. It feels like a big, expansive map that actually had a lot of thought put into it. And, like, again, I think maybe having the encryptions in more interesting places would have been cooler, and the optimization maybe could have been better. But I also think that's just because I have a really shit PC. And apparently modding has gone quite a bit further since this map came out. You know, people have figured out how to optimize a bit better, how to get things running a bit smoother, and this is one of those maps that haven't caught up, or that hasn't caught up to the time, or was made before people made those advancements. So, you know, hindsight's 2020, but I still think it's a really good map. But again, thank you so much for watching the series. It really does mean a lot to me for you to watch and to appreciate the stuff I make. It is a joy to do. Seeing people's responses to the first episode, the second episode, the third episode, it's just excellent. It's so nice. It's just a warming feeling to know that, like, people like the stuff you make. You know, I said this for Todd Doesn't Meet Miss. I said I'm going to say it for this. I'm going to say it for other streams. I'm going to say it for anything. If you watch any of my content, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3, it doesn't matter. If you watch half a second of my content, thank you so much. Because that's half a second I'm not going to get from someone else. Or that's half a second I couldn't have gotten in the first place, you know? Just having that small amount of interaction where people notice that I exist and that I've done something, it is just warming, you know? So again, thank you so much for watching the series so far, and hope you look forward to Season 2. I'm not sure when Season 2 is coming, like I said at the very start. It could be coming at the end of the year, might be coming at the start of the next year, who knows? It might be soon, might be later. I'll keep people up to date, I'll keep people in the know, I'll explore some more maps, I'll have a look, and we can have fun with a new season whenever that comes out. But I promise you, it will come, eventually, it will come. You can take that out of context, but thank you for watching. Take it, hold it, mod it. I hope you liked the series, I hope you loved it. If you want me to do more, just give me criticism, give me suggestions, mod suggestions, map suggestions, character suggestions, and maybe share the videos with other people who are interested in VR, because that would be very much appreciated. And I'll see you later. thank you so much for watching. Saying that for the 4th time, I'm pretty sure, but I mean it. I'll see you later.